I love Jupyter notebooks. I use them for a variety of things other than just Python code. Here's a toolkit I actually made that I can use to do videos, that'll work on videos. The first line, the first cell I have up on top with the FFmpeg, that's how I can run FFmpeg in a cell, and I can capture this screen video right now with no sound. Once it is captured, then I can play it. You see it's saved as no sound. Then down here I can play it. Now everything's going to play a little rough because I'm capturing my screen at the same time. So I'm actually capturing my screen playing a video. The HTML will show the video, and you can listen to the sound if it's a sound video. Now, if you want to record your voice, you can, of course, record voice in with their video. If you don't know where your sound is at, where your voice is at, to use it with the FFmpeg execute, if you write a play minus L, that's a small case L, lowercase, it will list the different playback hardware you have. Since I'm using a headset, I can look here and see it's card 1 is my USB headset, device 0. So if you look down at the microphone, card 1, device 0, is HW10. That HW10 you will use in your FFmpeg controls. Since we used a play above here, and we got a response, we know we're using an ALSA. There's also other things you can run here, other programs you can run that get your screen dimensions if you don't know exactly what they are. This is 1360 by 768. Either one of them will show you what your screen dimensions are. And again, I run this a play minus L, and it shows the devices. You can also run HTML inside of a page or inside of a cell. The %% HTML is an HTML magic. Now what you can do with your HTML is change the way it's presented in your video. For instance, I'm scanning through. I showed that just so you could see what it looked like before. But I can make an attractive looking area to present in my video. What this explains was the FFmpeg command up here. Here's the mpeg minus y. The exclamation point makes it run in Jupyter Notebook. The executable is FFmpeg. The minus y overwrites any name that might exist. If I already run that, and I saved it down here as, let's say, video 1, and I ran it again, if I have a minus y in front, it will overwrite the video 1 and do it again. The next command you see up here is minus F ALSA. Minus F ALSA, that's your sound driver. AC2 is your audio also. Input is HW10. Where we back up and I said the HW10, this is where it goes. That's an input. I is an input. And I say here you got that running from running a play. you saw that HW is card 1, device 0. Strict 2 is nothing more than trying to explain to the program how strict you want to follow the standards to make the video. Minus F X11 grab says grab this screen. It's the actual monitor, the screen, the monitor window. The frame rate is at 30. The video size is 1360 by 768. And if you look up on top here, you see all these in a row. Here is the size of the video to capture would go here. If you want to capture a particular area, the 00 would designate that area. 00 right now says up here, up in that corner, capture from there. But if I were to use a number like 250 by 200, it might start capturing over here. Of course, if you capture in an area like this, make this the starting point, your video size has to be smaller. We'll get into all this a little bit more in more videos. Preset ultra fast just tells it to do a very good compression on it and still give me a good video. A lot of times I use a date. This date right here actually saves that MP4. The video I'm going to make will save as a date. That way I don't overwrite any files, and I also can just do a ls on my videos and get a list of the videos in the order that they were created. For example, here, ls minus t. The minus t is time, and it lines them up according to time. Now you see this as a command line. It can be run from here as a command line. But to be practical, you want to make yourself a batch file. In a batch file, you put that command inside of it. Another reason that's good for the time is you can run that anytime you want to, and it will record that video and save it as a time. Write file you use to write a file name. This is in your Jupyter notebook. %% write file writes the name small scr capital CAP, and you can see it's overwriting or writing. If you click it, if I click it now, it will say it's overwriting it because it already exists. The bash file, this top part right here, is to do nothing more than when I run the file, if I don't give it a time, if I don't go scr cap with a number, it tells me, hey, you didn't run this correct, because the usage has to have a delay time. I don't want to push that video cap and have it start instantly when I push it. I want to be able to do it, get my screen organized, and then have the video start. So whatever number I put behind that, if I do a vidcap 10, in 10 seconds it'll start. If I go vidcap 5, in 5 seconds it'll start. This part of the batch file verifies that you put that number in. If you didn't, it will print, hey, the usage must include a delay time in seconds. An example is here. And we would do we'll do it wrong. We'll do it wrong, so you have to insert a cell above. We'll run the vidcap. And you'll see what I'm talking about. I run it without giving a time. It printed this message: usage must include a delay time in seconds, and here it tells you how to use it. That's the reason for this part up on top. The sleep 1, or the sleep $1, that's a variable. This number has to be passed into the script as a variable. $1 will pass that 10 in as a variable and tell it to sleep 10 seconds, then run the command. If you make this file, you have to tell it, you have to make it executable. The chmod change mod plus X says make that an executable file. Otherwise, it will pop up and say, hey, you don't have got permission to run that, and you can't run it. So if you make any file and it doesn't execute, you have to change the mod on it to plus X, then it turns into an executable. Now this can be run, because it was created here, it can be run in the same directory where it was created. To get the current directory, the directory where I'm running this notebook from, I import OS and say, OS, get the directory. And if I run that, it says, hey, my directory here is in home, Jack, desktop, Jupyter Jones.